Can you grow tomatoes in containers? Of course you can. However, some varieties are better suited for containers. So let's take a look at some of the varieties I've tried. First up is Orange Hat. This is the first one I tried because it's considered a micro variety and I had heard of people growing this one indoors so they can have tomatoes year round. It did grow pretty well, however, the taste of the tomatoes to me were a little bland with very little flavor, but your results may vary. But you could definitely grow this one in a very small pot or container indoors as it only grows between 6 to 9 inches tall. Next is Geranium Kiss, and this one will need a medium-sized container. It was quite prolific for me the year I grew it, and the flavor was good, but it didn't stand out to me. But it was still a good tomato, so if you're a small space gardener or an apartment gardener and containers are your only options for growing tomatoes, I'd still give this one a try. Next is Tiny Tim, and it could be grown in a small container indoors since it gets to be about 10 to 12 inches tall. The fruits on this one are a little more flavorful than I found the Orange Hat to be, and I did like it, but similar to the Geranium Kiss, it didn't stand out in flavor to me. But then again, I could just be spoiled from all of the other fun varieties I can grow. But again, if containers are your only option, this one is worth a try. This next one is called Patio Choice Yellow, and it is one that can be grown in containers, but it can grow up to 18 inches tall, so you probably wouldn't have space indoors or want to grow this one indoors. But this one was a heavy hitter for me, and the flavor was pretty good, so for a smaller plant, it definitely pulled its weight. Last up is Cherry Falls, and this one has kind of a more cascading growing habit. So you could grow it in a container, but this one would also be good to grow in a hanging basket. So if you're a really small space gardener or live in an apartment, you could definitely save some space by growing this in a hanging basket and then hanging it from a hook. I did find this one to be a vigorous grower, so for how little space it takes up, it's worth it, and the fruits tasted pretty good too. So if you're in the market for tomato varieties that can grow well in a container, give these a try or research others because these are just the ones I've tried, but there are definitely container varieties out there.